Hey, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. I want to continue on with a few other things about inflation. I've already done a part one. This is going to be part two, where I talk about a few other things as far as the way prices have gone up, the percentages. Um, One of the things I noticed that has gone up in price, um, I'm just as happy eating this as I would be beef, and that is pork. The price of pork has jumped 14.1%. Now, a lot of the time, when you go to the grocery store and go shopping for pork, you can usually get a better price per pound on it. But I have noticed that going up. So, what I try to do in that respect, whenever some type of meat, whether it be beef, pork, whatever the case may be, I try to find other alternatives to get my protein. But I do like to buy pork. Um, in addition to the pork right here as well, you've got the price of bacon has jumped 15.4%. That goes right along with pork. And I do like bacon. I actually prefer bacon whenever I have breakfast in the morning. Many may or may not know, but my ideal breakfast has always been scrambled eggs and bacon. It's always been one of my top favorites. But I have noticed those two things go up in price, but there are alternatives that I can go and get in place of the price of meat going up. For example, if I need protein, well, I one of the options I can go and do is I can stock up on beans. Lentils is a good one. Black eyed peas, um, navy beans, great northern beans. Well, you get the idea. Crowder peas is another one. Purple whole peas. There are other ways for you to get protein in your system than always having to rely on buying some type of meat out of the meat counter. Let's see. Something else that I've noticed that has gone up in price is if you go over to the dairy products, milk. I have noticed the price of milk going up. I remember when I could go and pick up a gallon of milk for about 289, 279, somewhere in that ballpark. Now that same gallon of milk is 349, 369. Depending on where you go, I have seen it as high as $4 and above. I drink milk, but I'm not a hardcore drinker of milks. And if I buy a gallon, a lot of the time, a gallon of milk will go bad on me. So, what I tend to do is I go to the dollar store and I buy their version of Parmalat. It is shelf stable. You use it as you need it. It runs $1.25 for a quart. And I have to tell you, it's every bit as good of tasting as it's every bit as good in taste to Parmalat. And I do highly recommend it if you have not bought the dollar store brand of their milk, their Parmalat. And you use it as you go. And whenever I buy it that way, I don't have any that tends to go bad. None of it tends to spoil because I do like to drink it outright. Sometimes I like to have milk and cookies, or I like to put milk in my coffee. I'm not too particular when it comes to that. So these are just a few things here that I have on a list that have seemed to have gone up in the last few years. And inflation is never a good thing for none of us. Even if you are financially stable, so to speak, it still makes you have to go back and rebudget everything because of pricing. Well, anyway, I hope all of you, whatever time of day it is for you, have a good rest of your evening or day. And I'll see you back here next time. Bye.